Hi everyone, it's Missy Harris with Hubble Real Estate Group, and today I'll be talking about the home buying process. The first step I like to go through with my clients is to meet them in person at my office, face to face. There's a lot of information that can be collected or gathered over the phone, but there's nothing that can replace a face-to-face visit. During that meeting, I'm able to get to know you a little bit better. If it's a couple, I get to understand the dynamics between you both so that I can understand both of your interests and needs and how they may differ or be on the same page. I can understand your communication style better. More importantly than all of that, I can understand what it is you're really looking for. Okay. During that meeting and from that meeting, I'll be able to set up a client portal for you online, which will include a home search. Now, this home search will automatically notify you through emails as soon as a property hits the market, or the MLS, the multiple listing service, and you'll get those instant notifications. You will also receive those properties immediately into your client portal, which is kind of like a personalized website just for you that collects and saves all those properties. So if you prefer not to receive all the emails, you can still have a client portal that you go and check frequently. You can make comments on properties that I'll be able to communicate with you about. You can show me which ones you prefer more, like them, delete them, put them in your saved cart. So there's a lot of benefits to having that portal. But really, before we can set that up, I need to know what search criteria to put in, and that's what comes out of our meeting. During that meeting, I'll also be asking you some questions about your financing options, or teaching you about some of your financing options. So if you haven't already, if you plan to work with a lender, then the first step really is to have a meeting with the lender, or at least to speak with them online. And most lenders these days, you can just have a quick chat with them online. They'll point you to their website, and there is a link there where you can go ahead and start uploading your information through their loan application process. That is a crucial first step, because they won't be able to pre-qualify or pre-approve you for a home or a price range until they have your information. We'll be talking about the difference between a pre-qual or pre-qualification letter and a pre-approval letter in a separate video. So, you want to buy a home, come on into the office. We're going to meet face to face. We're going to talk about what your interests are, what your search criteria would be, set up a home search for you. We'll talk about your financing options, and if you don't have a preferred lender, I am happy to provide some resources for you to shop around. And you want to get started as soon as possible on that pre-approval process with the lender. Once you've met with the lender or uploaded all your information, the lender's going to give you and me the green light on what your price range is. And it's really not beneficial to start looking for homes until we have that information. And here's why. It takes time on both ends, for me and for you, to be looking for homes, as well as an inconvenience to all those sellers out there. Every time we make a request to see a property, they've got to make sure their home is clean and ready to show. They oftentimes need to leave the premises and take their family and their pets with them. If it's during the day, they may have to accommodate their work schedule. So we don't want to trouble all these people and trouble you as well if we're not even looking in a price range that you're qualified for. So that's, again, why it's a crucial first step to talk with a lender and find out what price range you're in. The other reason that lender is an important first step is because when we find the right home and you're ready to make an offer, you will need to have that, at least a pre-qualification letter, and these days it really needs to be a pre-approval letter. You'll need to have that in hand and ready to submit with your offer. No seller is going to consider you, especially if there are competing offers, if you don't have that letter ready to go. So now to the next step. You've gotten pre-approved by the lender. We know your price range. You've been watching the portal. We're seeing properties come in. We're making a list of properties you'd like to see. Now it's time to hit the road and go see those properties. Here's what to expect when we're out and about looking at homes. I have found that after about 5 properties in a day, the properties begin to blur together. And it is hard for you to keep track. It's hard for anyone to keep track of the amenities they saw in one home over the other after those 5 properties. It's just difficult to keep them separate. So when I show homes, I expect, because I know so much about what you're looking for, we've already made sure that you're qualified to purchase, so you are ready, willing, and able to buy. So when we go out and we look at homes, 3 to 5 homes typically, sometimes a few more, sometimes less. But at the end of that time, I will be asking you, and in between, I'll be asking you, how does this home compare to the next? You know, let's rank it and see what was a pro, what was a con. And then at the end of that time, I'm going to be asking you which property you are ready to write an offer on. And by that time, you actually should be ready to pull the trigger and write an offer. I know I'm talking straight. Not very many agents say this, but I want to be really realistic with you that you really should not be out looking at properties unless you're ready to pull the trigger and you're ready to write an offer. Okay? That doesn't mean we don't go out a second time. We may look at some other properties. That can happen. But in your mind, you shouldn't be honestly wasting my time or any agent's time or the seller's time or your own time if you're not ready to write an offer that day. So that's it for me today. That's Missy Harris with Hubble Real Estate Group talking straight to you. Feel free to ask me more questions and I'll make more videos, and I'm here as your Central Coast real estate resource. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.